Hey everyone, happy Sunday. I hope everyone is doing fantastic. It is March the 26th. We have 9 games on the schedule. We're going to break down all these games and come up with some picks. But before we get started, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get alerted when my videos come on. I do videos every single day. It is extremely important to hit that notification bell. Especially guys when I drop my nuke bomb plays. I dropped one yesterday in the game between Denver and Milwaukee. I had the Nuggets, another winner over there with the nuke bomb play. I'm going to post this video at the end. It's going to be on the end screen. You guys can check it out. I added a little humor to it. I think it's funny. Check it out at the end. I think it's pretty interesting. So anyways guys, with all that being said, let's get started. First game of the schedule, guys, we have Dallas going to Charlotte, take on the Hornets. Dallas, the Mavs are currently 9.5-point favorites. I had them favored by 10 in this game. These two teams just played a couple nights ago in Dallas. Dallas was a 16-point favorite and ended up losing that game straight up. I think I would probably say that this is the biggest shocker of the season. Especially if you look at the situation in that game. Charlotte was coming on a second night of a back-to-back after getting blown out the previous game to the Pelicans. They also lost Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre Jr. in that game to injury. They came into that matchup extremely shorthanded. Luka and Kyrie were on the court together. This is the NBA for you guys. Anything can happen. You know how they say in the commercials, where amazing happens. And that's what happened. Charlotte went in there and got a straight up W. These two teams now are going to be playing it again in Charlotte. Dallas definitely will not be taking them as lightly as they probably did the game before. I think Jason Kidd summed it up the best. He said they played like dog shit. They were actually getting booed. It's very rare to see the Dallas fans booing. Something you're used to seeing in Madison Square Garden. We saw it in Dallas. The Mavs really need to pick it up fast. They are running out of time. They are currently 11th out of the play-in spot, and they have a tough schedule ahead of them, guys. Out of the contending teams, the only team that I think has a tougher schedule than them are the Pelicans. But the Pelicans guys are uptrending. They just went into LA and beat the Clippers straight up. They've won 4 straight. Dallas really has their work cut out for them. This is a must-win. All the remaining games are must-win games for Dallas. Do I expect them to win? Yeah. Can I lay these many points with the Mavs on the road? Absolutely not. If I were to go with a side, I'm probably going to be staying away from this game. But if I did pick a side, I'd probably go with Charlotte and +10. Even though closer to game time, I expect this line to be a lot higher than what it is now while I'm doing this video. This is what I got in this game, guys. Charlotte +10. In the second game of the night, guys, we have the Bulls traveling to LA to take on the Lakers. The Lakers are currently 4.5-point favorites. I had them favored by 5 in this game. The Lakers, guys, are in that tight Western Conference. After 74 games, they are 37-37 at 500, have won 3 straight, and have climbed up to the 8th spot. Pretty much in a tie, though, with the Timberwolves and the Pelicans. They all have identical records. It's big fight going on over there in the Western Conference to see who's going to make in the play-in tournament, positioning, everything. Everything is wide open, guys. The 4th place Suns have 35 losses, and the 10th place Thunder and the 11th place Mavs have 38 losses. With just 7-8 games left, every game is a must-win for these teams in that Western Conference. The Bulls, on the other hand, guys, do have a little bit of a cushion between themselves and the 11th place Wizards, a 2.5 game cushion. Things look a little more clear-cut in the Eastern Conference. Washington also playing without Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma. This is more of a must-win, I think, for the Lakers. The Bulls in their last game were in Portland, blew out the Blazers. The Blazers were playing without pretty much all their starters. So the Bulls went in there, capitalized on that situation, and got a big win. DeMar DeRozan was out from that game. He's listed as probable for tomorrow. He should be in the lineup. Guys, the Lakers, bigger sense of urgency. I'm going to be going with them, and the 4.5. I think they do win and cover in this game. In the third game of the night, guys, we have the Memphis Grizzlies traveling to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. The Grizzlies are currently a very short 2-point favorite on the road. I had Memphis favored by 4.5 in this game. The line is off, guys, at least 2.5 points. Kind of a head scratcher if you ask me. I don't know why the line is so short, especially if you look at all the facts that we have. Memphis on a 5-game winning streak, coming in rested, while Atlanta is going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. They were in action yesterday against the Pacers. They did win that game comfortably, scored a big 145, 46 points or something like that. Trae Young got ejected actually from that game from throwing the ball at the ref. This is a strange line, guys. I'm not going to lie. Usually when I see things like this, the only conclusion I can come to is that the books, for some reason, are willing to accept money on the Grizzlies here with this short line. I know Atlanta does have more motivation for a win since they are in a tight spot, 8th in the Eastern Conference, looking to move up and hold their position. They still have not secured their spot in the play-in tournament. And we all know the 7th and 8th seeds in the play-in tournament are extremely important because it does give them a second chance in case they lose that first matchup. The Grizzlies, guys, on the other hand, they're second place in the West, 3.5 games out from the first place Nuggets, and they do have a 1.5 game difference from the third place Kings. It doesn't look like they'll be moving from the second spot in the West. Atlanta does need this game a little more, but still, this line, guys, is extremely short. Now, closer to game time, I don't expect this line to look like this. It's probably going to go up higher, but as of now, guys, what I'd go with in this game is Atlanta and the +2. Closer towards game time, I'm positive we are going to get a better number than this. I am going to wait and get something better. Currently, though, for the video's sake, I'm taking Atlanta here and the points. In the next game of the schedule, guys, we have the Spurs going to Boston to take on the Celtics. Boston, currently a 16-point favorite. I had them favored by 15.5. Nothing really to analyze here, guys. One of the best teams in the league against one of the worst teams in the league. Boston should win this game comfortably. Now, will they cover this line? I don't know. I did look at the injury report to see what's going on. San Antonio obviously rotating a bunch of their regulars in and out. Some coming back, some not playing. Not really worth mentioning who is in and who's out. All of this is going to depend on how the Celtics are going to be playing in this game. On the injury report, I see Jason Tatum is on the report with his hip soreness. He He hit his hip after dunking on Rudy Gobert a couple of games ago when they played against the Timberwolves. And ever since then, it seems to be giving him a bit of problems. Even though he has played in all the games, he hasn't sat anywhere. This looks like a good spot for him to possibly get a rest. Kind of shows the mood, actually, with the Celtics. If they're resting him, they're probably going to be taking the Spurs a little lightly. And why not? The Spurs have been getting blown out lately in all their basketball games. But, guys, this could be a possible letdown spot. I don't expect Boston to lose this game. But the Spurs, guys, might go in there and get us a little backdoor cover. These games are a little tough sometimes. Mentally for the players, when they know they're playing against a very, very inferior opponent, they can let down. For example, you saw what happened to Dallas against Charlotte the other night. And I don't expect something too wild to happen with the Spurs going in there and beating the Celtics. But, guys, everything is possible. If I had to go with any side here, guys, I'd take San Antonio in the points, even though this is probably a game I'm totally going to stay away from. In the next matchup, guys, we have the Houston Rockets going to Cleveland to take on the Cavs. Cleveland currently a 13.5 point favorite. I had them favored by 15, a point and a half lower than my estimate. The Cavs, guys, like I mentioned in the previous time we talked about them when they were playing against Brooklyn, they are pretty much locked into the 4th spot in the East. Don't really look to have any hopes to move up or move down. The chances are extremely, extremely small for them to budge from that 4th spot. The Rockets, guys, last place in the West. Also meaningless games for them. Just experience for their younger players. We know what the Rockets are about. Now, this game, guys, when I look at it, it looks like it can be a little suspect. If you look at the schedule lately, especially if you look at what happened to Dallas the other night against the Hornets. Big favorite, ended up losing at home. This time of the season, guys, it's not surprising to see a lot of these big underdogs winning, especially in games like this where they do look a bit meaningless. Cleveland, even if they lose, I don't think it'll affect them at all in the standings. They're still going to be in 4th place. Rockets, we know they ain't going anywhere. I'm going to be looking, guys, to take the points in this game. Houston and plus 13.5. And I would not be shocked if we saw a big, big upset in this game. Cleveland should go in this matchup and dominate. But this looks like one of those candidates for a big moneyline parlay buster. We know the public likes to bet these big favorites, add them to parlays. Just like the other night, Charlotte going into Dallas and losing straight up. This game, for some reason, looks a little suspect to me. I could be completely wrong, and Cleveland could go in there into this game and blow the Rockets out. But if I were to go with any side in this game, I'd probably go with Houston and the plus 13.5. In our next matchup, we have the Brooklyn Nets traveling up north from Miami to Orlando to take on the Magic. Orlando, currently a 2.5-point favorite. I had them favored by 2.5 in this game. Brooklyn guys, they're going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. They were in Miami, like I just mentioned. They blew out the Heat in that game. They started off slow. Miami actually started out very hot, but in the second half, Brooklyn was just way too much for the Miami Heat. They were hitting shots from everywhere. On fire. Ended up blowing out the Heat in that game. A much needed win for Brooklyn. It bounced them right back up to the sixth spot. The sixth spot, which we all know is a direct berth to the playoffs. They will avoid the play-in tournament. Very important spot for the Brooklyn Nets. The Magic are playing out the season. Don't have mathematically they have not been eliminated yet from the playoffs, but they are 4.5 games behind Chicago with just about 8-9 games left. Chances are slim to none. They have won 2 straight though. They're one of the teams that I respect a lot because even though they don't have any chances to make the playoffs, they're playing out every single game, going for wins. No tanking for this team, and they have been playing well. Guys, in this game, I kind of like Brooklyn in this spot and the plus 2.5. Brooklyn, like I mentioned in the game before Miami, they are a team, a very trendy team. When they get on winning streaks and they're playing good, they tend to put a string of good games together. And when they play bad, and they can lose a lot of games. They were on a 5-game losing streak. A bad loss at home against the Cavs where they lost at the buzzer. They did play well in that game, and it showed in their matchup against the Miami Heat where they went in and won straight up. I expect them to continue this and get another W in Orlando. In the next game of the night, guys, we have Washington traveling up north to Toronto to take on the Raptors. Toronto currently a 6-point favorite. I had Toronto favored by 11 in this game. An absolute head scratcher, guys. I don't understand this line whatsoever. Toronto is in a play-in battle to be more precise. They are currently 9th, just a half game ahead of the Chicago Bulls. The Wizards, we know they're not mathematically eliminated from the play-in tournament, but they've pretty much called it quits, guys. They're playing without Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma. They're arguably their 2 best players, and they are 2.5 games behind the Bulls. This line, guys, is an absolute shocker. If you ask me, I really don't understand this. The only conclusion that I can come up with is the injuries that Toronto has had recently. What we see here, let's take a look real quick. We see Gary Trent Jr., Scotty Barnes, and Precious Achiuwa. I cannot pronounce this guy's name. They were also out in their previous game against the Pistons, but still, Toronto was a 14.5-point favorite, ended up blowing out the Pistons. Okay, now the Pistons are not the same as the Wizards, but without these important players, Washington, guys, has lost a lot of their dynamic, and this line is an absolute head scratcher, guys. How are the books willing to take bets on with this short of line? Because you know, guys, this is going to be pretty much one-way traffic on with the Raptors in this game. When I see stuff like this, guys, the only thing I can do is go with Washington. It is plus 6 right now. I do expect this to be much higher tomorrow, but this is giving me the information that I need, that the bookies are expecting Washington to be competitive in this ball game. I'm going to be looking to take Washington with as many points as possible. This is probably going to be one of my top plays of the night. I am going to wait, though, to get the highest number available because it is almost certain that this line is going to go higher. In our next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder going to Portland to take on the Trailblazers. Oklahoma City, currently a 7-point favorite. I had this line also estimated at 7. Line is on point and accurate. The Oklahoma City Thunder, guys, are currently in the 10th spot in the West. Last play-in position, but in a very, very tight race like I've mentioned before. And if you just take a look at the standings, you can see what's going on over there. The Thunder were in Los Angeles for pretty much a week. They played the Clippers twice, split with the Clippers, and lost to the Lakers in their last ball game. This game against an extremely short-handed Trailblazers team. Take a look at the injury report for Portland. Nobody's playing. Damian Lillard out, Jeremy Grant, Simons, Nurkic, all their starters are out. This looks like a perfect spot for Oklahoma City to get a W. And guys, from what I looks at, if you take a look at Oklahoma City's schedule, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look very hard. I think everything is up to them. They have a very good chance of making the postseason. I think it will be very important for this young team to get a little bit of playoff experience. They are an up-and-coming team. I do expect them to go into Portland and win this game comfortably. OKC and the -7 is my pick in this game. And in the last matchup of the night, guys, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves traveling to San Francisco to take on the Golden State Warriors. Golden State currently a 6.5 point favorite. I had Golden State favored by 6 in this game. Golden State, guys, like we said plenty of times, a very good home team, 30-7 at home, one of the top records in the league, and just 9-29 on the road. The reason for their struggles this season in the 6th spot in the West and finding themselves in a battle to make the playoffs. I think when it's all said and done, of course they're gonna make it. They are playing well enough, and they do have a little bit more of a cushion than the rest of the teams, like their opponents in this game, Minnesota. A much more must-win scenario for the Timberwolves. And guys, I think this could be a very tough game for the Warriors. We know Golden State does not like playing against the bigger teams, and we know Minnesota has a lot of size. With Karl-Anthony Towns now back in the lineup and Rudy Gobert down on the blocks, it's going to be very tough for Golden State to get any shots in the paint. On the rebound and in rebounding, they're going to have trouble. They're really going to have to be hitting their shots in order to beat the Timberwolves. Timberwolves, we also know, have a lot of very good perimeter players. Even though Anthony Edwards has been out, he's listed as questionable in this game. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back. This matchup, I think, is not very good for the Warriors in this game. Minnesota in a much more must-win situation than the Warriors. Guys, I know it is a tough bet, but I'm going to be looking to take a play with Minnesota here and the plus 6.5. And this is what I have for you guys on this Sunday, March 26th. We broke down each of these 9 games, did our analysis, picked our sides, and we are ready to roll. Guys, if you like my analysis, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to get alerted when my videos come on. I do videos every single day. Plus, from time to time, guys, I will post an NBA nuke bomb play. You'll see it at the end of the video. I will post a link to this. It's a little bit humorous. I have Vlad and Kim in this video. It is just for humor, guys. I hope it doesn't offend anyone. This is just for fun. I post these nuke bomb plays from time to time when I get really hot on a certain play. In this yesterday in my play against Denver and Milwaukee, I took the Nuggets in that game. They ended up winning comfortably. We hit another nuke bomb play. That's why, guys, it is very important to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And guys, with that being said, I'm going to wish everyone good luck on whatever you decide to bet on this Sunday. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your family. Enjoy life. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.